if you've signed up to be productive, when you're on a trip, when you're on a bus, when you're out there on a journey, one thing you should stop doing is listening to music. You need to understand, you need your mind, soul, and spirit. You need the activeness of it. You need it 100%. And do you know what music does to you? It makes you drown in your own emotions like a baby. And that's why music makes you feel good. It captures your emotion. It'll make you feel sad, make you feel excited, make you feel loved, make you feel emotional. It doesn't connect you to the higher version of yourself that has to do with you being insightful and thoughtful. And there's no way you can actually think and meditate when you listen to music, when it comes to productivity, when it comes to critical thinking. Because there's never going to be productivity without critical thinking. You need to get that straight. So just recently, I actually found this out. And I named the theory called the isolation of activities. Making you understand that not all activities should be combined together. And the first instruction of it is music. When you want to sleep, music. When you wake up, music. In the shower, music. Now you're on a trip, music. You can't even think. Look out of the window. Look at the beautiful things the Almighty God has created. And see why you need to dominate them. When it comes to the current world we live in right now, when it comes to creating content, fine. You can actually say, why should you listen to me? But listen to me and watch how this is going to change your game. When it comes to creating content, the truth is, especially the most abused form of creating content, that's motivational speaking. Because everybody does that because most people are actually not open to reading of books and this and that. But the truth is, it comes more like the most reasonable kind of motivational speaking or talks come from life scenarios and life experiences. Because that's the one that actually thoughtful and insightful. Not just you making some things up and stuff. Because they're not just only going to change the lives of people you're talking about. They actually reflect in your life. There's something you have actually witnessed yourself. Let me give you an instance. When I was about starting my YouTube video, there are a lot of lessons I learned on my YouTube channel or content creation in general. The first was, before I posted my first video, I had written about 30 short form content and about 10 long form content. And along the line, I found out one thing. I didn't even end up using the script I had written down. Sorry about that, I got distracted by something. I didn't even end up using the script I had written down. That was because not until I started, I never understood how I was going to improve. But that's a different talk entirely. The point is, music is not an activity that should be combined with productivity. You need to trash it out. It doesn't connect you to any form of meditation. It doesn't boost out your critical thinking. Because I personally actually learned a lot of things about this or from this. And I'm going to start from my my journey into the content industry, content creation industry. Of course, I've not really gone that far or something. But I've learned something really smart. And something I wouldn't have learned from anyone. The fact that my kind of content has to do with speaking, motivational speaking, this and that and stuff. Fine, I had to start reading books, my personal experiences, this and that. But I noticed that most of my scripts I'd even written before I posted my first video. I'd written about 30 short form content. I never used any of them. Because when I started posting my first video, I noticed that it wasn't just about writing scripts and presenting it to people. It's about thoughtful. It has to be more thoughtful. The point is, whatever form of content creation you decided to be in, you need that silent moment of meditation and critical thinking. It's going to boost your performance. It's magical. It's going to boost your performance because you actually now, you're trying to connect to that self that's going to give you the best, what you're looking for. Because music is a noise. And when you listen to music, fine, for fun, for realization, for worshiping, that's music. But you're trying to, every space you've got that you're meant to stay productive, replace music in it. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work. It's never worked. Music is going to fuck things up. It's going to ruin a lot of things. So you need to trash it out. But now, you don't know what to do when you're on the bus. And even when you're home and you're trying to study, you need to get this straight too. There's another activity that you shouldn't combine with your productive activities when you're at home. eating, chewing. You need to learn how to stay out of chewing. Get your hands off your mouth. Because productivity is actually wild. It takes a lot of, not more, it's way more than physical energy. It takes more than being fit to be productive. It takes more than being fit to conquer success. It has a lot to do with the mental stress and energy. How can you stress your mental health? Sorry. How far, of course not your mental health. How far can you stress your mental energy? How far can you build your mental strength? How fast do you want to enlarge and stress your brain out? Make it do things that it can't do. But how will you put your brain into activity if you don't put it into critical thinking? Because that's the function of the brain anyways. So think deep. You've heard the word think deep. But how do you think deep? When you're eating at the same time. You're eating. Eating is activity. When you're playing music, you're trying to do everything at the same time. Just you alone. It's not going to work. You won't produce unique things if you do the things that are common. Because a layman out there will definitely eat. Or when he's trying to do the most productive things in his life. It's a different activity. Eating is a different activity. And that's how I've named this theory the isolation of activities. You need to learn how to separate things. Separate activities. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with this. If you're young and you're watching this video and you have a mentor, I don't want to know the name of your mentor. But if your mentor hasn't written any book before, I'm not saying you should get this book, of course. If your mentor hasn't written any book or doesn't tell you to read books, it's not a true mentor for you. You need to be smart to get this. Because when I say your mentor has a written book, you don't have to think that, okay, the person must have written a book. I mean, the person must have changed the lives of people by books. So if your mentor hasn't done that and doesn't tell you about reading books, doesn't quote books, I'm sorry, you're on the wrong path. You're on the wrong path. Yeah, so that's it. When you're the boss, don't listen to music. It's a moment to think. Think outside the box. How do you think outside the box? You must definitely you must definitely have tried everything within the box. Then it breaks out. So you must have exercised your thinking a lot of times. Think outside the box. But that's it. When you're home, when you're trying to do your productive stuff, no eating. You can drink water. Where's my glass of water? I think I've got one here. You can drink water, but don't eat. It's a form of distraction. And that's it.